Hello, Aries, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is your weekly reading for August 2nd through 8th. Quick disclaimer, this reading is a general reading and cannot resonate with all of you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if none of it resonates, then look elsewhere. There are tons of other readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation personally. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, certified anything. I have no certifications. I'm just a girl who loves the tarot, and anything I say that resembles advice is based solely on my opinion, my own experiences and understandings, and my interpretations of the cards. Also, sometimes things do come to me intuitively, and I just spit it out like word vomit. So if it doesn't really flow for you, I totally understand. But if it does, then here we are. Thank you for joining me. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and we'll start your reading with a archetype card. And I already drew yours this week. You guys have Gnosis, which is this one right here. Okay. So the idea of the Gnosis card, the concept of Gnosis, this is about knowledge. This is about seeking truth, like the ultimate truth, the meaning of life in the universe, an understanding of universal laws, how they work, our place within it. It isn't, generally speaking, just, the quest for knowledge. And almost everybody does embark on this journey, right? Looking for answers regarding the mysteries of life. And for you guys this week, this is going to be a major theme. So there's some kind of understanding, some kind of truth that you're after. And it may not be anything in particular. You may just want more knowledge. You may be interested in the origin of humanity, or perhaps you're learning more about energy and spirit and things of a metaphysical nature. Perhaps you are going back to school or learning about something that can be applied practically in your life. There are many different interpretations, and we will have a better understanding of how this particularly applies to you guys as we move through the reading. But as a general overarching theme, Gnosis is a very important concept for some of you guys this week. So now I will go ahead and pull a card for I'm tripping over my words and I'm losing my brain. I apologize. Universal or cosmic energies coming from outside of yourself that are going to be influencing you or your situation this week. So you guys, Aries, emotions are running high, the supermoon. So you may be feeling a lot of strong emotions right now. You may be feeling quite raw and exposed. Something may have happened. Something may not have happened. It could just be your mood in general. You're just very sensitive, very touchy this week, and that is totally normal. Please don't ever take anything I say to be judgmental in any way. This is just a very emotional period for you guys right now. Whether it be related to something going on in your life, or just your general state of being, and there's no reason for it. But do keep that in mind. Let me see if I can make that a little more clear. Haha! No, I cannot. I will say that because emotions are running high for you guys right now, this can affect you in many different ways. And it can affect your ability, well, not your ability necessarily, but how you process information, how you understand things as they come into you this week. And so do keep in mind that while it is very good to be emotional and in tune with your emotions and have a good, healthy balance of emotions, make sure that you are also applying equally your ability to reason and logic when it comes to situations that occur in your life. But also, too, stay in tune with and trust your intuition, okay? Because emotions are running high right now. You may be picking up on a lot around you. You may be very sensitive to energies around you at this time. And so it could be very important for you guys this week to kind of protect your aura, protect your energy field while you are feeling this high level of emotional sensitivity. So we'll go ahead now and we'll pull some cards from the tarot First card that I'm going to pull for you guys, I will ask Spirit, what is going to go on with you guys this week on the material level? So regarding material things, money, career, finances, which isn't really another way to say money, but your resources. This could also refer to your health, anything that is relevant to you guys this week on the material level. So we do have Temperance. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully that works out for us a little bit better. So what I was saying, I was talking about temperance in the material. This is just applying the principles of balance when it comes to your material life. This could mean being a little more thoughtful when it comes to spending money or how you use your resources. This could also be in regard to a situation that could be occurring at work. There's an element of self-discipline or self-control when it comes to your actions and the energy that you put out and the decisions that you make in regards to the material. And again, we'll understand more as we get more cards on the table, but if I'm going to relate this right now to the cards we have down so far, Gnosis and Supermoon, emotions running high, then to me, when it comes to things of the material, this is a reminder that even though this is a very emotional time for you guys, to make sure that when it comes to spending money, allocating resources, decisions that have to do with work or career, to make sure that you are making your decisions equally from a place of emotion, but also from a place of logic and reasoning. Make sure that you're not making decisions that you might regret later once you are not feeling the same as you are now. Not doing things out of anger or sadness or being hurt. Not doing something rash or impulsive based on whatever emotion you may be feeling at the time. You know, for some people in extreme cases who may struggle with depression or manic depression, this could also be taken the other way. One, you don't want to be making decisions that affect you materially when you are upset, but also if you are in a very manic or euphoric state, and I do recognize that this is not going to apply to very many people at all, but if you do find that you are someone who experiences that type of manic state, to make sure that you are not making life-changing or, you know, just financially disruptive decisions, I guess, based on simply on how you feel in the moment. Think through every decision before you make it. Any big purchases, you know, if you something happens at work and you want to quit, you're just done with it. You know, really sit down and reflect on that decision before making it. It may be right for you. It may also be a fleeting feeling that you might regret later. So just generally speaking, whether you experience these strong emotions regularly or not, make sure that you are thinking through every decision, every action, before you make those decisions, so that you don't end up having an issue or something that you regret later when you feel differently. It was a little long-winded, I know. My apologies. Let's see what else we've got. Let's see how you guys are doing on a mental level when it comes to your brain, your thoughts. This could also be a little bit of a status on your mental health, if that's something that is relevant to you at this time. Wow, okay, so we have the High Priestess. Can we get some focus? There we go. And I really do love the imagery from this deck. You see how she's connected to those wires? She's wired directly into Source. And just as electricity flows through wires, information and energy from Source flows directly into her and out of her, through those wires, through those direct connections to Source or Spirit or God or whatever you want to call it. So when it comes to your mental health, or just how you may be doing mentally, the High Priestess tells me that you are very connected to your subconscious right now, as well as perhaps other planes of existence entirely, and higher information. Perhaps even you're very connected to your spirit guides at this time, or your higher self. And so a lot of information, a lot of insights may be coming into you this week, perhaps all at once. Some people call them downloads. You may be receiving a lot of downloads. Again, with the wire imagery, it helps me personally to kind of tap in myself and get an idea of what the cards are trying to communicate. So your emotions are running high. You are being advised to think through all of your decisions. Just be careful and mindful of everything that you do and say. And also mentally, right, to listen to the information and to sort through and understand the downloads that are coming into you, which I have a feeling, because this is the High Priestess that's in that position, that this probably won't be very difficult for you. I think you probably recognize that this is happening this week, if it hasn't started, or if it has started already for you guys. And it can be overwhelming, depending on what the situation is and what kind of information is coming into you at this time. It can also be confusing, and it can be sometimes upsetting, depending on, what it is you're ready to know, whatever it is that you're ready to understand. Do know that Source will never give you information that you cannot handle or that is not right for you at this time. And so everything that does come into you at this time is important and relevant to where you're at in your life right now. I do get to that you're going to want to, I'm getting a lot of hermit energy. Like, you're going to want to spend a lot of time in meditation, or at the very least in a safe and quiet environment, in order to fully, comprehend and integrate the information that's coming into you guys this week. Because you are so strongly connected. And you're not only are you connected to this this energy, but you are aware of it. So because of that, you could be kind of airheaded, I guess, like, is how it might seem on the outside. Like, you may seem disconnected to other people. You may just seem very much in your head to the people around you, and they might be asking you, like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? And there's nothing wrong with you. You're just receiving a lot of information right now, and it is best to take time to yourself in order to allow that process to occur. That way you don't become overwhelmed when it comes to the mental and emotional stimulus versus outside environmental stimuli. Guys, I should have said stimuli first. So we'll go ahead, and we already kind of have a card explaining how you're doing emotionally, but it's part of my spread, so I'm going to do it anyway. Let's get another card, a tarot card, for how Aries is doing this week emotionally. Okay, so we have the Six of Arms, which in this deck is the Six of Swords. It is in reverse, so this tells me that you guys may be feeling somewhat stuck or held back. You want to move forward in a different direction, but you're having trouble doing that. And I think that that's simply because you're still in this stage. I'm going to try to get my camera to... You like my lighter? All right. No, that didn't help. Okay, my apologies. Stuck. Mentally even stuck. I know this came out in the emotional position, but I believe that you may be feeling a little bit frustrated because you are mentally stuck. Perhaps you're having a hard time deciding what is and what isn't. You're having a hard time trying to figure out what your next step will be. And also you're having a hard time when you are having all these downloads, like understanding what their purpose is and how to apply this information, what it all means even, because when you receive a lot of downloads, it can be confusing. It can be in fragments, little chunks, little spurts here and there that don't seem to fit together well and don't make sense. And again, this is why it's so important to take time to yourself to work through this information. and to fully receive all the information so that you can make sense of it later. So perhaps, and this could be an Aries trait, right? Fire sign, you want to go, you want to achieve, you want to accomplish, you're highly motivated at times, most of the time maybe. And so to have to stop and be in a state of uncertainty and confusion can be frustrating, can be upsetting at times, but it is important for you to stop, okay? To kind of be in that standstill, stagnant energy while you gain information, while things come to you, so that you can use them later. So, and I want to go back to that high priestess in the mental position, right? You are aware that this information is coming into you, but you may not be totally aware of what that information is or how to use it. And so this may not even really come to you until the time comes to apply the information that's coming into you. So again, very frustrating to feel like you have so much going on and to feel like you're having these great insights but not understanding how they apply yet and how to use the information. It's just part of the process, right? It's part of this search for knowledge. I think back to, I don't know, like math class in high school when you got to learn 6 different types of equations before you're able to apply it to the one big whole quadratic equation. I don't know if I'm speaking like alien right now when I'm talking about math. Math is like an alien language to me at times, but I do really enjoy it. But it is one of those things where it's got many small pieces that must be understood and learned before applying it to a bigger picture. You must learn how to solve a multivariable equation before solving a system of multivariable equations, because you cannot possibly relate a system of equations to one another if you don't understand the tiny bits and pieces that go into making those singular equations. So again, I'll stop with the math references now, but I get jumbled. I just get a lot of jumbled thoughts, jumbled images, okay, and then the high emotions are running, so you're very frustrated and you just want to understand. You want to understand what's going on with you. You want to understand, you're like, what is it? What am I supposed to know? What am I supposed to do with this? Like, can somebody just write it down for me and lay it out so that I can just get it already and move forward? But it's just not where you guys are at this time. And that's how it goes. That's how gnosis is achieved, is in tiny bits of pieces that seem to be unrelated to each other that will come together to form a bigger picture when the time is right. So when it comes to that 6 of arms, or 6 of swords energy, while you are ready to move forward, or that you feel you're ready to move forward, there's still something that's missing and something that you need to understand before you do, so that you can move forward in the correct direction, the way that you are being called. And since this is a weekly reading, right, then I do feel like you're not going to be in this energy very long. You're not going to be stuck forever. This is short term, especially that, the stuck card being a minor arcana. It's just something that you have to put up with right now. Try to meditate, try to be still, try to just listen. And if you're getting frustrated because you still can't put everything together, then just stop thinking about it altogether. Ground yourself. Ground yourself while you're going through this process, and go out in nature. Just breathe. Oh, actually, yes, breathing. It's not measured breathing. I forget, like controlled breathing exercises might be helpful as well. Sometimes you want something so bad that you cannot receive it because you can't be still and quiet long enough to receive it. So if you're overthinking it and you feel stuck and you feel like you're not moving forward and you think that there's just something else you need to know or something else that you need to find that's going to propel you forward, then maybe what you actually need to do is to step away from it and stop waiting for it and stop counting the seconds and the minutes as they go by and just live peacefully until things come together on their own, because they will, and they will soon. I feel this is a very short-term period of stagnation for you guys. Okay. So the next card that I'm pulling is going to be in regards to how you're doing on a spiritual level, where you're at spiritually in your development. And I have the Ace of Vials, or the Ace of Cups. This can be seen as an offer of love, an offer of a new relationship. Cups being emotion and love. I really do just see cups as love, but it can also be like anything can be in the cup, I suppose. So I'm just going to tell myself to shut up on that last point. Anything can be in the cup every time a cup is offered to you. And it can be love. It can be a mixture of things. It could be like with the Four of Cups energy, which you don't have the Four of Cups on the table, but just to kind of explain my point, sometimes you want to be critical of what is in a cup that is being offered to you at this time. But because this did come out in the spiritual position, I feel that this cup is referring to the information and the downloads that are coming into you from source. This is a cup being offered to you for you to drink from, to understand and learn and grow. I apologize. Life is full of interruptions. So again, what I was saying was that I really want this to focus. But this Ace of Cups here, this water energy, right? These emotional, subconscious, intuitive downloads that are coming into you right now. This is a cup you are drinking from, straight from source. And there's a whole analogy behind drinking the cup, or drinking from the cup, right, that involves digestion. So you need time to digest the information that is coming into you before you're able to fully understand and apply and grow from it and benefit. Or, do whatever it is that you may feel called to do once you understand what is coming to you. So the next card I'm going to pull is going to be an important situation that will pop up for you this week. Just something that describes an important situation that may pop up for you this week. It could be anything. So we have the Three of Wires, and it came out in reverse. And the Three of Wires is wands. So Three of Wands energy. Because it came out in reverse, this tells me that you are just on the edge of some kind of breakthrough. I do feel that once these downloads are complete and you are able to fully sit down and understand and integrate the information coming into you, that there will be a breakthrough that occurs, and it's just not yet. So you may not have any major breakthroughs this week, but very soon after, possibly even next week, you will have a realization of some kind that will help you understand some kind of major situation in your own life. Perhaps something that's been going on for a long time, something very important to you. The Three of Wires is a minor arcana card, but to me the breakthrough is big. It changes your whole perspective, and it's like it propels you forward, right? You're finally able to see through. I'll turn this right side up for a moment. You see there's that break in the glass, and he can finally see ahead where he's going. And if you look, he's holding like a map or blueprints, his plans. So once you are able to achieve this breakthrough, then you're going to know what you need to do moving forward. So I definitely understand feelings of frustration during this time, as you have to be patient and wait for that moment to come. And I do feel like it'll be almost an instantaneous understanding that will occur to you, that will help set everything in motion moving forward. Okay. So I'll pull a couple cards for things that may, challenges that may occur for you guys this week. Challenges for Aries this week, please. That was too many. So I have the Ten of Wires, which is the Ten of Wands. As a challenge, this tells me that you are exhausted. You're very tired. You're very done with the situation. Perhaps a goal that you've been trying to achieve as you're in this non-flowing, non-moving energy, and you're becoming frustrated with that. Like, you're really getting tired of the whole journey altogether, and you're questioning perhaps if this is something that you actually want to continue with, if you still have the same goals now that you did before, when you feel that things are not moving forward. Another aspect of that Ten of Wires that comes to mind is that the breakthrough may have to do with a total change in path. The thing that's holding you back, the thing that's not allowing you to fully make this breakthrough, could be a commitment that no longer serves you at this time, or plans that you made in the past that you need to discard in order to have an open mind and be open to opportunities that may arise in areas that you wouldn't have previously considered. Whatever the case is, you guys are getting very sick and tired of it. And you're ready, right? The Ten of Wands. You're ready to lay those wands down. You're ready to be free of something. So think about what may be going on in your life, what obligations you may have, what goals you may be working towards that you're willing to let go of in order to move in a different direction, or a situation that you need to let go of. It could even be a relationship for some people that you need to let go of in order to move forward. Something holding you back. There's definitely something very heavy on your shoulders that is, one, not allowing you to move forward, but is also, two, possibly blocking this flow of information that's coming in from Spirit. Let's get one more challenge for Aries this week. One more potential challenge. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man, and he is in reverse. And I feel that this definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? My goodness, guys, I'm so sorry. Confirms. It confirms what I was just saying about there being something that you need to let go of. And perhaps it's everything. Maybe it's your entire perspective on how the world works, who you are, what your purpose is. You have to just let go of everything that you think you know. Because there's something that you are not right about, that is some belief that's holding you back. This could also be potentially a lifestyle, or again, a relationship, a habit. It could really be anything depending on your situation. But there's definitely something that will have to be surrendered and let go for you to move forward, for you to make this major breakthrough. And because we have this Three of Wands in reverse over here, I do feel that perhaps, again, it will be almost instantaneous. Once you figure out, if you don't already know what you need to let go of, meditate on it. But I think that a lot of you will know exactly what's holding you back. You may have been making excuses up to this point on why you hang on and why you can't let go, why you can't choose differently, I suppose. So if you know what I'm talking about when I say that, then this is confirmation from Spirit that it is time. It is time to let this go. Because there's another offer, another opportunity, something coming into you that is not going to be available to you until you let go of whatever it is that is holding you back. So now I'll pull a couple of cards for advantages that you will have this week. Things working in your favor this week. What are advantages for Aries this week, please? So we have the Five of Vials, which is also the Five of Cups in this deck. It's always very interesting when these quote unquote negative or conflict cards arise in a reading. But the five, right, in numerology, fives are all about change and growth. So for the Five of Cups, which refers to some kind of pain, some kind of loss, some kind of grief, for that to be an advantage to you, there was some kind of major lesson that has been learned in terms of some loss that you've endured that is going to help push you forward and move you in the right direction. This could be some kind of pain or grief from the past, or not necessarily something that's happening right now. It could have been recent, though. It could have been. But, you're hanging on to that pain, to that grief. You're hanging on to sadness that, you need to let go of. And this could require forgiveness on your part of someone else or of yourself. Or just accepting a situation for what it is. Something that cannot be changed. You've lost something that you cannot get back. And even though it may seem like you don't know how to live without it, you're doing it now. You're doing it every day. You are living without that which you have lost, whether it be a person or a relationship or a home or a job or just something that you perceived as necessary for you in your life. Like, you don't actually need it, and it is okay to grieve a loss, but eventually you have to accept it so that you can move on and allow for new things to come into your life. So I definitely feel that there's some kind of pain. It could also be a trauma that you're hanging on to, that you need to let go of at this time. So when it comes to that thing which you must let go of, I feel that it is something that's you've already lost, and it's simply the memory of it, or the longing for this, for whatever it is, that has to be surrendered and given back up to spirit so that you can move on fully in your life. And again, this just requires accepting that it is gone, that things are different now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that life is over. It just means that this chapter of your life is over, and a new chapter is ready to begin. See if we have another advantage for Aries, please. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is a really great card and a very strong advantage. This is success and fulfillment on the material level. So if this isn't something that you already have, then this is something that will be coming into you. You could be coming into money if you don't have it already. Or just an abundance of resources available to you in order to move in the direction that you want to move into. Perhaps you have your own business, or a craft or a trade of some kind that has made you very successful, that has brought a lot of abundance into your life. And this is going to allow you to switch directions. So there is no... What's a good way to say this? There's no sense of lack holding you back. You have everything you need at this point in time, or you will very, very soon. And so when it comes to any reason why you might choose not to take advantage of an opportunity that's available to you, it is not because you don't have the money. It is not because you're not established already, or because of a lack of experience or resources. You have, I just feel that you are very secure materially, very secure on the material level. And this is going to allow you to focus on the changes that are occurring in your life without being overwhelmed by your need to meet certain basic needs in your life. You don't have to focus on surviving. You are surviving. You're doing fine on that level. Now you can focus on other things, bigger things, including your own healing and your own growth on a spiritual level. And I do say this a lot, but I do want to reiterate that in my opinion, these days, what we do for money, our material lives, are intertwined with our spiritual purpose. And perhaps this isn't true for everybody, but I do feel like it's true for a lot of people now. I definitely feel like it's true for me. So, as you follow the right path, as you come to understand what your purpose is in this life and the work that you need to do, that you're able to do, right? Whatever it is that Spirit requires of you, as you follow this path, then your needs will always be met. Circumstances will always be arranged so that you never have to go without as you follow this path. Like, you may not win the lottery necessarily, but as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you will always have what you need in order to do what you're supposed to do. There's definitely no feeling here of lack of any kind, except for your perceived lack in terms of this loss that you've experienced. So hopefully that came out right and it makes sense. So the next card that I'm going to pull for you guys, I'm just going to find out what the lesson is for you this week. I have a feeling that we already know. So the Justice card came out. It did come out in reverse. Justice is all about settling the scales, making things right, bringing things back into balance. So if there is some kind of injustice in your life, and that could be in terms of whatever this loss is for you guys, then there will be a rebalancing going on or happening for you guys this week or in the next couple of weeks, in the very near future. Things are going to come back into perspective. Things are going to even themselves out again. And this may come with the knowledge that you are receiving at this time, whether it be the downloads from Spirit or things that you come across in your own research, your own learning journey. Justice is in reverse, so to me that implies injustice. And the lesson also could be that there are times when you must accept an injustice in order to move forward and eventually set that straight again. There are a lot of people who suffer great injustices, who never see things flipped back into the right position. And for them, the lesson is to let go of the feeling of injustice, accept that things have happened the way that they have and that it's not fair, but that it also will not hold you back anymore. What affected you then in the moment, right? You choose to no longer allow it to affect you in this present moment and moving into the future. Yeah, I think I'm definitely getting more of that than the first thing I said. I really feel like there was some kind of injustice that occurred in your life. And it was heavy, right? Because we have the several major arcana cards on the table at this point in time. Somebody wronged you in some way. And they've never apologized. They've never owned it. And they've never made things right with you. And perhaps you're waiting for that, waiting for them to make things right with you. You feel that you cannot move forward until this injustice is accounted for. But you can't wait forever. Sometimes you have to accept that an injustice has been done and just choose to move forward, with the understanding and the knowledge that whatever you learned from that experience in the past, how to avoid it maybe, or perhaps just learning, like, if there were mistakes that you feel you made, then you're like, yes, this did happen to me, and I lost a lot because of it. But I will never find myself there again, because now I know. Now I know who I can and cannot trust. Now I know that no matter what happens, I will survive and I will come out on top, because I am strong. Because there's more to life than this one single event that has caused me so much pain and grief. Okay, so I hope this is making sense. Alright, so moving on from that, I'm going to pull some oracle cards now. And the first oracle card that I'm going to pull, I'm going to figure out what influences from the past are at play in this situation for you guys this week. So, past influences that are affecting Aries this week. So we have the Prince. See, there we go. The Forgotten Adversary. Sorrow, Lost Valor, and Serendipity. So this takes us back to that Five of Cups, that loss that you've experienced. There may be a degree to which this loss affected your ego, right? Definitely hurt your ego and made you feel like you should have known better, or a battle was lost. You lost a fight. You know what, that makes more sense to me because of the Justice in reverse. You lost a fight, and you may have been fighting on the right side, but yet you still lost. And so now you're left to grapple with how it seems that bad could prevail over good in your situation. So some kind of battle that you lost. This could be legal, definitely in a more literal sense. This could be perhaps you tried to help somebody and you just weren't able to because they didn't allow you to, and because that's not where they were on their journey. That could be something, that could be a battle that is lost, right? When we try to help bring others out of the dark and they choose the wrong path anyway. Or just maybe not the wrong path, but a path that hurts them. And this is something that you fought very hard for. Something that's very, very important to you. I think that's why it's still affecting you to this day. This is why you're having such a hard time letting go of this situation from the past, is because it was just so wrong. Like, you feel like how could it possibly be? If there's balance in the universe, if good always triumphs over evil, then why, to this day, is this battle lost? And that is something that you have to come to terms with within yourself. This is that acceptance that we were talking about. The loss that you need to let go of, right? Because this may have caused you to be somewhat cynical and negative in your perspective because you had higher expectations, and reality defied your expectations and spit on them and then just walked away. And you feel that you're left with nothing, or that you're left with a whole lot of wasted time and effort that never, with no return, basically. And what I'm getting from this situation is that it's over. I mean, it is over. It's done. Like, you may never see, whatever the best outcome would be for that situation. You may never see it. But there's so much more to life outside of that. And there are other battles to be fought and won. It just was never meant to be for this battle to play out in your favor or in the right way. So I think that does confirm pretty much all of the cards that we have on the table. This is what's holding you guys back. This is what got you in that stagnant energy. This is what, dwelling and obsessing over this injustice is what's holding you back. And so this is why you have to go through the process of letting this go, so that you can accept these new opportunities, new insights and understandings that are trying to come into you now at this point in time. So now I'll go ahead and I'll pull a card for what is influencing you from your subconscious, or something in your subconscious that Spirit wants you to be aware of this week. Get the subconscious for Aries. What's going on in the subconscious for Aries, please? So I have the Moth. And I do like to pay attention to numbers as well. So the Moth is number 23, 2 and 3 is 5, major change, right? The Moth is drawn to the flame, sometimes to its own detriment. We also have the moon cycles on this card as well. So you may feel drawn in a certain direction, drawn to something, called by something on a subconscious level. And either you're not recognizing it, or you are, but you're not fully understanding what you're drawn to. And this could also have to do with the cycle that you are currently bringing to a close at this time. Because sometimes you feel, you may be, actually, okay, I think that this past experience, these memories, this is what you're being drawn to again and again and again. Like, that's why you keep getting stuck, is because you start to move forward and you start to open your mind and your heart up to new things, to the future. But then you just get sucked right back into the past, right back into that pain. And until you reconcile that situation within yourself, until you come to accept it, you will keep getting sucked back in and getting stuck in this same cycle of disappointment and grief and sorrow. So you really have to pull yourself out of your emotions, I think, in this situation. When it comes to dealing with the past, you really have to bring yourself up to a higher, big picture perspective, where you're looking at everything, all of the little pieces that are at play. If this injustice has to do with somebody that you knew, somebody from the past, somebody who did something wrong or who wronged you in some way, like, you have to step back and you have to look at the situation and consider that individual's path and what brought them down that path, and what it is that they are learning through those experiences, those same experiences that you endured. And also considering how exactly that experience has affected you and what it was meant to teach you. What kind of understanding you were supposed to gain from it. It didn't happen to you just so that you could hurt, right? There was a bigger purpose. I believe that there is a bigger purpose behind everything that happens to us in our lives. And so it's time to really just kind of step outside of your emotions, put yourself in the shoes of a stranger, perhaps. Lay out your life in front of you in your mind's eye like a picture book, and look at every page and try to see things that you couldn't see when you were up close and personal, when you were in the thick of it, right? That saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Step back and look at the entire forest and try to understand, why you had to go through what you had to go through, why you had to experience this injustice, or else you will just keep getting drawn back in again and again and again into the pain. But if you can step away, if you can step outside yourself and grasp the situation as a whole and really take a look at your life up until this point and the path you've taken and how these integral moments in your life pushed you towards your purpose, towards spirit, then you can finally let go. Then you can finally accept that, this had to happen to you in order for you to grow and become the person that you need to be to fulfill your divine purpose. So now I'm going to pull a card to tell us what kind of energy you guys are attracting this week towards yourselves. When we put energy out, then we attract similar energy back into our lives. So while I am pulling a card for what energy you are attracting, this also has to do with the energy that you're putting out into the universe yourself. So if you don't like the card I pull, then definitely evaluate how you're behaving, the decisions you're making, and what kind of energy you're putting out, and how you can change it in order to attract the things that you want and need into your life, as opposed to something that perhaps you don't necessarily, want to deal with. So what kind of energy is Aries attracting this week? Okay, so I did get 2 cards for this. The first card that I got was travel and stamina. So this is very good. You may have some opportunities to travel coming into you in the very near future. Also, to me, is kind of like that fight or flight. It's the fight reflex. Willing to go far and wide to accomplish your goals and to grow and to move past this pain that you're stuck in. You don't want it anymore. I can tell that very much. Like, you really want to be able to let go with it and move on. And you're willing to do whatever you need in order to achieve that. Perhaps all you need is a little bit of direction. And so there may be an opportunity or an offer of some kind coming into you guys this week that may help you to get a sense of what direction you should move in. And I will say, too, that if stamina is an energy that you are attracting, then you may find that there are people coming into your life or people around you right now who are going to be able to remind you that you have it within yourself to continue fighting for this growth and this change and for a better experience, a better life. The other card that came out was Argument and Power Struggle, the Javelina. So if you are feeling particularly argumentative and insecure in your own personal power, then that is going to be the energy, again, that you attract towards yourself this week. So if there are occasions arising where you're finding yourself arguing with others, perhaps over petty things, or you feel that you are struggling with another individual for power over your own life, definitely do not be afraid to assert your autonomy over your life and your decisions and your path. But also, do not engage in any petty arguments. If somebody's wrong about something, but it doesn't really have any impact on your life, let it go. Okay, because if you go out looking for a fight, you're going to find a fight. But if you go out looking for peace and understanding and acceptance, then that's what you'll find. So if you're having a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, if you feel like you're going through this power struggle with the individuals around you, struggling for power over your own life, consider what it is that you're putting out into the universe that is bringing this back to you. Hope that makes sense. So I'll pull another card now for something that you can let go of or that you need to let go of, which was already mainly what this reading was about, but we'll see if we can get one more bit of insight on perhaps how you can let go of this situation, this past pain. How can Aries let go and move on? Okay, so 2 cards came out again. Usually only take 1, but, they offered, so we'll take it. I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize, but it's such a beautiful card. I believe it is Yumiko Kurahashi. Yumiko Kurahashi. It says transformation. So this could mean that in order to be able to let go, you must embrace this transformation. You have to be ready to change. You have to really want it, because you do need to change. We all do. At certain points in our lives, it's just time to grow and change. We can't be the same person forever. So if it's certain parts of yourself that you don't want to release, And that's what's holding you back. That's what's keeping you stuck in the past. If you want to fully be able to let go, you have to be willing to embrace changes to your life, changes to your ideology, your lifestyle, your environment even. The other card that came out with that was the Peacock. And the Peacock is referring to divinity, source, godliness, the great whatever I call it sometimes. And so this could literally just be advising you to trust the universe, trust spirit. You may benefit from prayer even at this time. Ask if this is something that works for you. Ask God, ask spirit to take this weight off of your shoulders. Okay? Ask for guidance. Ask specifically, please, spirit, help me release this pain. And that may be all it takes. For some of you, maybe not for everybody. It's usually not that easy. But that's what I'm getting from the cards here. In order to let go, you need to have a willingness to change and a trust in the divine, that it will guide you and pull you out of the dark and propel you into a brighter future. So the next card, or cards, I'm just going to pull a couple cards detailing strengths that you already have, that you can use this week. What strengths you have that you will make this process easy for you, I guess. So the first card that came out was sincerity. Okay, so this has a lot to do with honesty, being genuine. And to me, this indicates sincerity to self. Okay, being honest with yourself about the situation, the role that you played in that situation, and also being sincere with spirit when you ask for help, right? Nothing will change for you if you are not already willing and ready for that change, no matter where that change takes you. So you must be sincere with yourself through this process. You must be sincere with spirit in this process. But because this is coming out as one of your strengths, then you already are. So I think this also plays into faith again. Understand that your sincerity speaks to spirit when you ask for help. I don't know if that sentence came out right. Let's pull one more. One more strength for Aries, please. Wisdom. You are very wise. You may be a very old soul. You've learned a lot through your life. And it's time to take everything that you've learned, the wisdom that you've acquired up to this point, and apply it to this situation that's holding you back now. Perhaps you find that you're really good at giving advice to other people, and now it's time to take your own advice. As hard as that might be, and I can relate. It is very difficult to take your own advice sometimes, because change can be intimidating. But if you're honest with yourself, right? If you are sincere about your intentions and willing, again, to invite this change into your life, then you may find that when you encounter issues or problems, or you hit walls in this journey towards change, or in this transformation, that you actually do have the wisdom within you already to navigate the process. You already have it inside of you, the understanding that you need in order to move forward. And so in this way, it almost feels like Spirit is telling you that There is no need for fear or a feeling of intimidation in this process. This process is not occurring to teach you a hard lesson. You've already learned the hard lesson. Now it's all about, my dog is getting into things. Now it's about applying what you've learned. And so if one thing that's holding you back is a fear of the future, then understand that there is nothing to be afraid of. You're not being punished by the universe. There's another horrible thing isn't waiting around the corner to knock you down and break you, right? You already got the hanged man on the table. You've been knocked down. Don't expect more misfortune and pain, because you've received the information, the lessons that you need from Spirit already at this point. And there is nothing to be afraid of when it comes to looking towards the future. So hopefully that makes sense. So now I'll just pull a couple of cards of advice for you guys. Advice from Spirit as you move through this week. One card I'll pull from the Shamanic Medicine deck, and then the other card I will pull from the Akashic Records deck. Let's see. What advice do you have for Aries? Let's move these over. So first we have the drum, and it says awaken. Okay. So listen for the drum, whatever it is in your life. Listen for the calling. It will pull at your heart. You will recognize it when you hear it. You may hear it already. And it will go back again to being able to sit in silence and connect to your subconscious or your your superconscious, however you like to look at it. To hear that calling and to fully embrace it and to allow it to wake you up. Fully. I feel like you're already in the waking process, and you're getting just stuck on little things from the past that you have to process and release, okay? But you hear the call. It is time to move towards it. That's what I get from advice from this card here. We'll pull one more for advice. Okay, so, I grabbed two. All right, we'll take two, I suppose. First is the Oracle Library. To me, this indicates almost like mass consciousness. When I read cards, the way I see it is that I am asking Spirit to tap into the mass consciousness as if it were like an internet in order to draw the information that I'm asking for to give to you. When I do these readings. And so this is very much asking you to do the same thing. Ask Spirit to tap into that mass consciousness, that oracle library, if you will, to find the information that you need in your specific situation to move forward. The other card that came out alongside that was transformation. Okay, so this is a very major transformation for you. I will say 41 5, another number of change and growth. Or not another number, it's just another 5 that we've got on the table here. And then let's see, what was this one? 25, so 7, which is growth, achievement, baby steps, hard work. But I don't think that you're afraid of doing the hard work. You're definitely willing to do the hard work. You're simply stuck on something from the past. But I think that you're perfectly capable of letting go and moving through it. So, I'm going to pull 2 more cards from the Lenormand deck and then we'll call it a day. I know this reading is already getting to be a little bit long. This is just a little extra insight into your week ahead. Because, I don't know, the more information the better is kind of how I always saw it. I don't want to beat a dead horse for too long, though. These cards I always read in pairs. Lenormand is meant to be read in pairs or in multiples. First card we have is number 4. Okay, the house or the home, matters of the home, family life, security, safety. We get one more. And then we have the bear. This can be aggressive energy, but this can also be empowerment and strength and protection. So the bear clarifies the home. So the home is protective. You're safe in your home. Your home life is safe. And this is just reminding you that it is okay to start moving through this painful energy, these old memories, and to allow yourself to go through this transformation, right? So the butterfly, when it transforms, it wraps itself up in the cocoon. This protects the tissues as they develop, because they are very, very not gentle. Well, I mean, they are gentle, but they're very fragile. It's like we have hermit crabs, and when they're molting, you cannot touch them because their new exoskeleton is still developing, and it's very sensitive, and it could become horribly disfigured, or it could even be, deadly, right? To try to make any major changes or change the environment of any creature while it is in this transformation process. It leaves you very vulnerable, very raw, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I turned this onto hermit crabs, but you are protected within your home. It is, I almost get that this is advising you to stay at home, stay in a safe environment while you go through this process. Spend a lot of time with yourself this week. Spend a lot of time in a place where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable, while you are in this vulnerable state. And you will be okay. You are protected. So, that's what I've got for you guys this week, Aries. I know it's some big stuff, but it's all worth it. And this is a week of growth and knowledge and clarity and understanding. And I believe it will be very empowering for you guys as you move through it. So thank you guys for joining me today, listening to this reading. If you made it all the way through, you deserve a gold star, but I have none. If you guys enjoyed this reading and you'd like to see more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can get notified when I upload every week. Eventually I will be uploading multiple times a week, but right now I'm doing weeklies. Yeah, until next time, you guys take care. We'll see you later.